I'm actually wondering if haulers help with this, because, like, I'm guessing these 10 employees in here are the ones handling this, but I'm wondering if haulers also do. Moving my plate. Alright. Chat, we're almost there. The finish line approaches. Okay. Chat, I'm slowing it down. Here we go. Launch. Oh, 99 balloons and counting. Oh, it's a reference to the song 99 Red Balloons Go By. You have mastered Folktale's nature-oriented ways and used this map's resources to build the faction's wonder. Having collected great wealth and knowledge, your beavers shared fruits of their labor with the suffering planet. There's still much to do, but Earth may flourish once again. 433 days, 591 beavers born. 85,000 water drunk. 891 tails painted. They got tattoos. 48,000 trees cut. 52 teeth chipped. 148 bots made. 3,231 dynamite detonated. Look at them go. So it's like paper lanterns with extract in them, which I guess makes stuff grow. And their happiness skyrocketed because they saw the thing fire off. Alright, awesome. So that is a win with Folktales on this map on normal difficulty. Pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Alright. I'm glad we got to see that. That was fun. So let me now talk for a few minutes about the difference between these guys and the Iron Teeth. So first off, you've got like the housing, right? The Iron Teeth all sleep in a barracks. You can pack like 50 of them into a small building and they don't care because they're all about efficiency. But they don't multiply automatically. You have to manually handle their population with breeding pods. In breeding pods, you have to constantly pour water and berries in to fuel them to make more bebes. But when you have upgraded breeding pods, they come out fully grown. They just skip childhood. There's actually an achievement for have an adult beaver get born and get injured at work at the same day, and I have it. So, like, just dealing with keeping their population at the right level for whatever you're at is really annoying, honestly. Because, like, these guys, you just build the houses, and they fill the houses. But the Iron Teeth, you like have the barracks, and then like if you have a shortage of berries, suddenly your population plummets 3 weeks later, and it's just like what? So it's like way more tedious. The farms, the Iron Teeth are worse at farming, so they have like 2 people in each farm instead of 3. And the Iron Teeth do not have the large water pump, so they have to make multiple smaller pumps. Their science is easier. So like we've got an observatory here where 4 beavers are making science points. The Iron Teeth have a building called the Number Cruncher, and it's just an A-high building, and it just, as long as it has power, it does science automatically and no one has to work there. So it's like, you know, grok, make a better grok, and they just leave it running all the time. There's a few other things. So let me, once again, I'm going to save this and then show you. And this was a hard chat. This one was hard mode, which I lost and had to reload many times. But essentially, again, this is like 30-day long droughts, 30-day long bad tides, like just major shortages. Like if you don't rush a dam right at the beginning, you die on like day 3. It's crazy. Grenadic rock. Okay. So you will see that the layout looks very similar because, of course, I had just been playing on the same map. So I was like, all right, I'm going to play on the same thing. So first of all, over here, these barracks things, this is where they sleep. Look, there's so many of them in each of these huge buildings, right? And then these things, these are the breeding pods. So these things, they just put like water and berries in. Oh, sorry, extract and berries, and fully grown beavers come out a few days later. So that's how those guys work. These tubes are like the tubes from Futurama. They can travel through them at 300% speed. So it's faster than zip lines, but they're infinitely more expensive than zip lines because you have to build every single square inch of these tubes. So it's very annoying. They have different crops, including mango trees, which they can put in water. I don't have any right now. They have the water pumps can go deeper. You see how long the pipe is? So their water pumps can be like up on a cliff and they go very far down, but they don't have the big water pump that has like multiple beavers working in it that's crazy efficient. They don't have that. We got I did the same battery tower thing here because it worked really well last time. And then let me guys show you this. So they don't have wind power. They have giant manual power wheels. 4 people can push this thing. They have steam power, which this burns logs and water to make steam, and this thing spins and makes power, but that burns your resources. And then they have this thing. So this is a bad water source. You can build a bad water discharge over it, which is like a cap, and you can force it to stay open 100% of the time, even during droughts. If you do that, you can then harness that with giant water wheels. The Iron Teeth have a larger version of the water wheel and a smaller version. And what I did, dude, look at this. So this is infinitely open. And then it falls here. And then it goes through here. And then it goes back through here. And then it goes back through here. So this is what I had to do to get power 100% of the time because I don't have access to wind power with these guys. It worked, but boy howdy, this was a long project. But technically, if I flatten this area, I could just keep zigzagging it and just get more and more power out of it. And then, yeah, it's the same map, so we got like the mine is in the same spot, but we got like the long tube over there instead of a zip line. They have some different crops as well. So they've got, what is this? Kohlrabi, cassavas, soybeans, canola, corn, eggplant. And then for trees, they've got the same ones the other guys have, but then they also have coffee bushes, which I never even made, and mangroves, which are in the water. And then look at these are their big buildings that inspire. They've got this thing called the Laborer Monument. This one's the Flame of Unity, and this one requires power, which screwed me up. I built it and I didn't realize it required electricity. And so then I had to run this weird power line over here to get to it. This is called the Tribute to Ingenuity, which is this big thing right here. And then finally, we've got the Earth Repopulator, which is right here. Hold on, let me load pre-launch. Let me load this one. So this was the building that wins the game for them. I'll just show you guys just for fun. It's like the one that we just did. It took many hours to build, so I'll just I made a save file before I activated it just so you guys could see it. Are we grinding bodies with those grinders? No, we're not grinding any bodies. I'm not sure what you saw. Why is Smoke streaming? What's up, Arcadian? I was thinking the load time might be faster since we're on the same map, but okay. So we got this building here. Treated berries and planks. Launches pioneers to distant lands. When launched, makes beavers in the area extra happy. So I'm gonna hit launch. This is just so y'all can see it. So quick pause. Look at him. Look at him. He is ready. So somehow he is going to go repopulate a distant land. So I guess he's got some breeding tubes in his pocket or something because he's alone. So it basically just does this, and I'll speed it up now. It just yeets beavers all over the planet. This is their win condition. Just yeet beavers everywhere. And then it folds back up. Beavers exploded one. Don't look at that. Yeah, that's how the Iron Teeth get their win. Oh, a few other things about them too. They're bots. The previous bots for the folktales, they used, what was it? It was like biofuel. They drank it kind of like a soda can, and then punch cards to be inspired. These guys use grease, which is like, okay, it's a liquid just like the biofuel, but then they also have to go to charging stations. And charging stations, if they run out of power and they're not near a charging station, they move at like 1% speed. And they have to waddle very slowly to a charging station to be able to move again. It's so awful. So you have to make these things that require electricity all over your base. And then also, they've got a thing, where is it? This thing called a control tower. If they're working in range of a control tower, they work like 50% harder. But a control tower eats your science points, which is not a huge deal because, again, the Iron Teeth have a Number Cruncher, which is an AI building that just generates science points as long as it has power. So as long as you got enough of them, it's okay. But this thing eats science points to buff nearby bots. But the end result is a fully buffed bot for either faction is the same strength. But these guys have the charging station thing, which is really annoying. So yeah, I like also the farms. I told you the farms have more spots for farmers. Like, see, there's 2 farmers in each of these for these guys, but the other faction has 3. So I'd say the other faction has easier bot management, easier farming, better power generation, easier way of handling your population. But these guys do have a lot of stuff that's different if you just kind of want to challenge run. I do feel like it's not severe, but I do feel like these guys are more challenging. There's a couple of small things like the large power wheel. The power wheels for the folktales only allow 1 person to run them. These allow 4. So early game, if you have a power outage and you need people to do manual power, it's easier for these guys because they do not scoff at labor. They're fine with that. I think that's it. I don't think I have anything else to show you. Just wanted you guys to see this. A lot of work went into this, and like I said, the droughts and stuff were insane because there's like 30-day, like you see all the water storages I've got over here, and then I've already blasted this all the way down to bedrock. It doesn't go any lower. But it went quite well. But with that, chat, I think we're done with Timberborn right now. Now, of course, this is a game where you could play so many maps. We played literally 1 map, and that took us like weeks. It's a very good game. I want to go back to the map thing because there were some maps that have curveballs. If you want to challenge, like some maps are smaller, so you have less space to build. There were some maps that have weird things like pressure. When you block off certain areas, other areas will erupt. So there's a lot of like weird stuff on here that you like hold on. What was that? Look at this. There's hardly any room to even build here. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, this looks terrible. But yeah, there's the one that we played was like one of the easiest maps. Like there are like this, hold on a sec. Like this one, the spiral, like if the water comes from there and goes down, like even if you build down here where there's more room, it would take forever for the water to get to you. This one is just the map is so small. You have so little room to work with. So there's a lot of challenges to be had here. Like lakes is nice because if you pay attention to how the water goes, you've got everything you need. Wait, what is flexible start? Okay, so since I beat lakes, it says flexible start unlocked. What does that mean? There's not like a checkbox for it. What is that? Timberborn, flexible start. What is that? You can put your district center anywhere. Oh. Interesting. So you beat a map and then you can play it and min-max a little bit. Interesting. Well. Neat. So, review time. Timberborn. I played this in early access, and I did something I very rarely do. I made a positive video about the game while it was still in early access, and I do not regret it. This is a very fun game. I think people that like Factorio, RimWorld, Stranded Alien Dawn, Oxygen Not Included might enjoy this game. There is overlap with a lot of those. It's what makes it unique. Besides the colony management is the fluid dynamics. They did a lot of work on the fluid physics, and I think they did a good job with it. Story-wise, 1 out of 10. It's basically humans are dead now. There's beavers. That's it. There's like no other story at all. So it's not a huge thing, but it's a very little story. But the gameplay is quite good. It's one of those games where the early access was so smooth that if they had told me it was done, I would have been like, okay. But then they kept adding more and more and more, and like the zip lines and the tubes and stuff like that, and they did a really good job with it. So yeah, Timberborn, devs did a wonderful job. I do recommend it, and but for now, we are off to the next one.